It all began with the discovery of the All-Fire and the secret of the Convocation. 13 mages, blinded, driven by the greed for divine power, and under the bondage of the Circle, their armies unleashed death and destruction. Bonded with the power of ancient runes, cursed to eternal life and eternal death. Until the last day of the old era had dawned.
So have you come to witness the day of my ultimate triumph, poor old man?
No. To witness your downfall. You cannot win. The Convocation is a lie. It will destroy all of us.
So... You shouldn't have come. You really think I care a fig for your whimpering?
Tahira! Rowan sent us. He needs the power of the Rune Warriors. The Northern Realms are in danger.
Rowan knows I will never serve a Circle Mage again. My powers are exhausted. I have seen quite enough misery and bloodshed. Rowan will have to look for somebody else.
That's why he sent us. A very special rune lies concealed somewhere in these lands. We're here to search for it. But we were attacked and Lev is wounded. He needs your help. We need your help.
Then I hardly have any choice. Very well. I will help you. Where is Lev?
I lost sight of him somewhere behind the gate there. I hope he's still alive. These damned orcs.
I'll look for him. You stay here by my hut.
Thank you, Tahira. It's good to have you back with us.
Welcome to the world of Spell. In this prologue, we will explain the game to you. Let's start with some general information. The name of the main character in the prologue is Tahira. She is a combination of fighter and sorceress. From now on, we will refer to the main character as the Avatar. Once you've solved the prologue, the game will continue with the avatar you selected before starting the game. Whenever you hold the mouse pointer over a button or an object, a help window with additional information will appear in the bottom left corner of the screen. When you are asked to click on something, this means a click with the left mouse button. We'll tell you about the right mouse button a little later in this presentation. When you click the Options button in the upper right, you can save the game or change the game settings at any point in time. Now select your avatar by clicking on Tahira in the game world. Very good. You can move the view with either the cursor keys or with the mouse by holding down the right mouse button. You can also adjust the view by moving the mouse pointer to the appropriate edge of the screen. A selected unit is marked with a colored ring. Your own units have a green ring, enemy units a red, and neutral or allied units a blue ring. In the lower left, you can see the currently selected units and some additional information such as name, health condition, and amount of mana. You can select your avatar at any time by clicking on the Portrait button in the upper left corner of the screen. By clicking on the Portrait button with the right mouse button, the view will be moved to the appropriate unit. Move Tahira down the path to the east and through the open stone gate to the Bindstone, a large boulder, by clicking the right mouse button next to it. The Bindstone offers the Avatar an opportunity to connect his rune with this place. Should he perish, he will appear in the last Bindstone used. Enemies are able to sever the connection to a Bindstone if they attack it, thus causing you to lose one active Bindstone. Select the Bindstone with a click. At the bottom edge of the screen, you will find the Action bar. A new symbol for Activate this Bindstone should have appeared there. Click on that symbol. The Bindstone will light up and is now active. You are now bound to this Bindstone. In the lower right, you will find the Overview map. Black areas have not yet been explored and are automatically uncovered when you approach them with units. Your avatar has a greater view radius, so he will uncover a larger area. The dots on the Overview map are in different colors. Green dots represent your own units, red enemy and blue neutral or allied units or buildings. A few special objects, such as monuments, are marked in yellow. Continue along the path to the east. SpellForce offers you the option of witnessing the events of the game from different views, including the third-person perspective, where you see the action from a position directly behind and slightly above your avatar. To change the view, press the Page Up key to zoom in and the Page Down key to zoom out, or simply turn the mouse wheel. By moving the mouse wheel downwards or pressing page down, the camera will zoom out into an almost vertical perspective. Now, when you move the mouse wheel upwards or press page up, you will see the normal isometric views from different distances. Now change to the third-person perspective by zooming in closer. This is only possible if your avatar is inside the field of view. In the third-person perspective, you can control your avatar directly with the cursor keys or with the A, D, S, and W keys. If you hold down the right mouse button, you can change the view direction. Otherwise, operating SpellForce in this perspective is identical with the isometric view. Follow the path in third-person perspective toward the east to the next stone gate. You can change to the third-person perspective anytime during the game, but for now, we will assume you will be using the isometric view. Change back to the normal isometric view with the mouse wheel. An enemy goblin is lurking around the next corner. He isn't very dangerous. When you hold the mouse pointer over him, a bar will show you his health condition. Select your avatar and click with the right mouse button on the goblin. Your avatar will attack the goblin. As soon as he has been defeated, we will continue. The goblin's corpse will light up, which indicates that he was carrying an object with him. You can now take possession of this object. Take up a position close to the dead goblin and click on the corpse with the right mouse button. You can then see what object the goblin had with him on the left-hand edge of the screen. Click on the shield to take it with you. It will be automatically added to your inventory. The shield increases your avatar's armor class when you are carrying it. With a higher armor class, you lose fewer life points when an opponent hits you with the weapon. To open your inventory, click on the backpack symbol in the action bar, which can be found on the bottom of the screen. A window will open, and on the left you can select the different categories of your inventory. Click on the ring symbol, which stands for equipment. On the left, you now see the unused equipment. In the middle, the objects your avatar is currently using, and on the right, your character's current data. We'll deal with this data later. To equip your avatar with the shield, you must first pick it up with the mouse. Click on the shield and then click on the free section for the left hand beside the torso. Now close the inventory with a click on the backpack or the check mark in the lower right of the window, or by simply pressing I again. In the upper left-hand corner, you can see a clickable portrait of the avatar. We call these buttons portrait buttons. The green bar in the portrait indicates the character's health. When the character is injured, it will change color from green to yellow to red, depending on the severity of the injury. When the character has no more life points, he perishes. Your avatar's life points will, however, regenerate with time. The blue bar represents mana, magic energy. When a character's mana reserves have been depleted, he cannot cast any more spells. Mana is also replenished with time. Follow the path through the next stone gate until you have reached the wounded Lev.
I should have stuck with my books. I hope you haven't forgotten your healing arts, Tahira. Help me. Please heal me.
If someone offers you a dialogue, a symbol will float above the character. If this person is relevant to the main quest, it will be an exclamation mark. If the person is only relevant for optional side quests, it will be a question mark. Select your avatar, approach Lev, and click on him with the right mouse button to begin the dialogue.
I thank you, Tahira. Without you, I would have been lost. I thank Aonir that Kaele found you.
What happened anyway? You're seeking a rune?
Yes, a special rune. Rowan is certain it must be somewhere in the ruins of Ankbrand. But the ruins are just swarming with orcs. We had to flee. Only Joshua managed to hide. Kaele knew where your house was. That's why we fought our way through to you. Please, you must help us.
All right. I will fetch your rune. You stay here and recover for a while.
As you command. Take good care, Tahira. Here, this spell scroll. I captured it from one of the orcs. Maybe it will be of some use to you. Keep following the trail. Perhaps you'll run across Joshua somewhere. May the gods grant that he is still alive.
You have a healing spell at your disposal. If you wish to use a magic spell, there are two possibilities. The simplest possibility is offered by the click and fight system. To use this, select Lev. Under your avatar's portrait button, all meaningful actions for the selected target will appear. The blue hand is the symbol for the healing spell. Click on the symbol to heal Lev. The click and fight system can be used in the same way to launch damaging spells or melee attacks on hostile targets. As soon as you select an enemy unit, appropriate hostile actions will be offered. The alternative to this is the classic method. Select your avatar, then click the healing spell in the action bar, and then click on the wounded Lev in the game world. Speak to Lev again. You have received additional experience points and a magic spell scroll from Lev. It contains the Fireball spell. Once you have collected a specific number of experience points, your avatar will move up one level, will become stronger, and will be able to learn new skills. You receive experience points by defeating opponents and successfully solving quests. When you die, you lose a small amount of experience points every time. Next, your avatar should learn the magic spell you have just received. Open your inventory and click on the symbol for Spellbook. On the left, you will see the inventory for magic spell scrolls. On the right, your spellbook, and above it, the so-called magic memory, with 9 free spaces at the current moment. Click on the scroll in the inventory to place it on the mouse pointer. Then click any free space in your spellbook. You now have transferred a new spell into your spellbook. You can enter any number of spells into your spellbook, but you can only simultaneously memorize and use 10 of those magic spells in your magic memory. Learn the Fireball magic spell by clicking on the Fireball symbol in your spellbook, and then click on any free space in your magic memory. Now close your inventory. Follow the path until you see the Minotaur. Use the Fireball spell to defeat the Minotaur. Many creatures are partially or completely resistant to specific types of magic. Your avatar can also use rare objects found in the course of the game to protect himself better from magic attacks. Behind the next gate, a fire elemental creature awaits for you. This creature is completely resistant to your fire magic. Continue along the path. Try to use your magic spell against the fire elemental creature. If a creature has resisted a magic spell, you will see white bouncing sparks. After this, defeat the fire elemental creature in close combat. The fire elemental was carrying a hero's rune and 4 objects. Take possession of these. Beside your main character, you now have up to 5 heroes at your disposal. The heroes are your strongest allies and may have magic powers. The hero's rune you just found represents a skilled long-range fighter. The rune establishes the hero's characteristics and abilities. In the course of the game, you will find more runes and also replace some of the older runes. To summon a hero, you must use the hero's rune in your rune table, which you always have with you, and then find a hero's monument for the summoning procedure. Open your inventory and go to the category Rune board. On the left side, you will see your currently unused runes, and on the right, the runes entered in the Rune board. In the upper half of the rune table, you will find the spaces for the hero's runes, and below the spaces for workers' runes, subdivided into light and dark races. Depending on which level your avatar has, you can apply up to 5 runes at once.
Yes.
Click on the rune of the hero and place it in one of the empty fields of the rune tablet located at the top.
At your service. We'll be done. Very well.
Now you will have to arm the hero. You should have received a bow, a dagger, and 2 pieces
On
of
my
armor.
command. Forwards.
Go into the inventory
Follow
and
me.
select the category Equipment.
Now.
On the right side of the window, you will now see 2 portraits. Select the lower portrait and
Into
give your
battle we
hero
go.
the 4 new objects from the left side of the inventory. The bow must go into his left hand. That's the space on the right-hand side.
Quickly now. Attack. Enemies
If your
beware.
avatar or a hero cannot use an object, it will be marked with a red background. Close your inventory.
Attack.
Follow the path to the Great Monument. This is the hero's
The
monument.
lines must hold. Follow me.
Go right up to the hero's monument, select
Follow
it,
me.
and click on the rune symbol in the action bar.
Now. Let's go.
Aside from the
For
hero
the order.
monument, the symbol of a hand appears in the selection.
Rune
You can
warriors,
inform
stand
yourself
by
of the
me.
rune power of your avatar.
Destiny awaits. Stay with me,
Every
men.
time you call upon a hero, or later on, even a worker, you lose a bit of your rune power, and
Rune
calling upon
warriors,
them takes a
stand
bit
by me.
longer every time, too. Rune power regenerates itself automatically in the course of
It's an
time.
ambush.
Now you can
Into
summon
battle
the
we
hero.
go.
Select the monument and click on the symbol for the
We're
hero
under
in the
attack.
action bar. After a few seconds, the hero should appear. A second portrait button for your new hero should now appear in the upper left. You can now command the hero.
Follow me.
If you want to select several units simultaneously, you can hold down the left mouse button in the game world and drag a frame around both characters. As soon as you release the left mouse button, the selection is established. You can combine combat units to form groups. To do this,
Stay with me, men.
select the units and
go.
click on one of the small buttons at the top of the screen in the middle, or hold down the Control key and select a number key from 1 to 6 for the respective group.
Quickly now.
Once you
attack.
have defined a group, a portrait button will appear at the top of the screen with the number of units
The
in the
lines
group.
must hold.
The functionality of the portrait button is identical to your avatar.
At arms, men. We're under attack.
You can now very quickly select a group by clicking on the appropriate portrait button or pressing a number key from 1 to 6.
Enemies, beware.
Follow the path further toward the south. You have a fight with the undead ahead of you. Together with your hero, you can win this fight.
We're under attack. Into battle we go.
Use your magic and defeat the undead.
Stay with me, men.
Well done. One of the undead was carrying a valuable gem. Take it
Let's
along
go.
with you.
To adventure. Forwards.
Should you want to further test your fighting skills, turn north here.
Attack.
Otherwise, follow the path farther towards the south.
It's an ambush. Here. To adventure. Let's go. Let's go. Attack. Follow me. For Aonir. Let's go. Into battle we go. Rune warriors, stand by me. Quickly now. Let's go. Follow me.
Follow the
Now.
path until you find the merchant. Merchants can be identified by the rotating
Now.
coin above their heads. You can buy and sell all kinds of objects from a merchant. Go up to the merchant and speak to him by clicking on him with the right mouse button. A window will appear with the merchant's menu. On the left of the menu, you will see your objects, and on the right, the merchant's objects. Your available money and the price of the selected objects are displayed in the middle. 100 copper
now.
coins make 1 silver coin, and 100 silver coins make 1 gold coin.
Let's go.
Objects in SpellForce are divided into 5 categories. The 5 symbols beside your inventory and the merchant's inventory will be dark if you or the merchant have no objects in this category. You want to sell the gem to get money for a purchase. Select the lowermost symbol to open the category Quest and Value Objects. Click on the gem. The object you are offering will be marked green, and in the middle you will see the price the merchant wants to pay. Click on Sell.
Here,
Now you can buy something else with the money.
To adventure.
Click on the Rooms category and purchase the Human Worker Room.
I shall not fail. Forwards.
Conclude the trade by clicking on the check mark on the lower
Quickly
left in
now.
the window or by pressing the escape key.
To adventure. Let's go.
Open your inventory, select the
Forwards.
category Rune Board, and place the human worker rune in the slot with the human portrait
Now.
on the lower left of the rune board. Close your
Let's go.
inventory. Follow the path to the bindstone. Select the bindstone and activate it using the action bar.
Forwards.
Should your character perish, you will not have to repeat the whole journey.
Here. To adventure.
You can travel from one bindstone to another bindstone you have already activated. To do this, select your avatar and go to the bindstone, click on it with the right mouse button and select your destination. You can try this out now if you want. When you are done, follow the path to the human monument. Speak to Joshua, the man directly beside the monument.
Tahira! So the others found you?
Yes, they're all well. Were you able to find out where the rune is, Joshua?
In the orcs' camp. I think it is in possession of their leader. Be careful. Those beasts are tough. You'll have to prepare yourself well. Once you've conquered them, bring the rune to me. I will turn it over to Master Rowan.
You should now have received a quest.
I'm ready
Open
now.
your inventory and select the quest book page.
Follow me.
In the middle
Forwards.
of the window, you will see all your current uncompleted quests.
Here.
And on the right,
Now.
a detailed view of the currently selected quests.
Let's go. To adventure.
You have received the quest, The Lost Rune. When you click on this quest, the individual steps of this quest
At
will
your
appear on
service.
the right.
Break's over, time for work.
Already completed steps will be displayed darkened.
I'm ready.
When you hold the mouse pointer over one of these individual steps, a help window will additionally appear in the lower left in case you have forgotten something. Close your inventory.
Here I am.
Go to the monument, select it, and click on the rune symbol in the action bar. The moment you occupy a worker monument, things get serious. Normally, when enemies discover your newly established settlements, they will do all they
Ready to
can
go.
to destroy
Understood.
you as
At
quickly
your
as
service.
possible.
All right then.
On this
At
map,
your service.
however,
Understood.
you can take your
Ready
time.
to go. Understood. Here I
You
am.
can now
Very
summon
well,
human
off I go.
workers. Select the monument and click on the worker symbol in the action bar.
Yes?
The worker will appear in a couple of seconds. You may also click the symbol several times to order more workers. Produce at least 5 workers. When you have selected the monument, you will see numbers indicating your population limitations below. The upper number indicates how many workers of this race you currently have, and the maximum number you are allowed to have. At present,
Master of the
you
Rune.
can
Understood.
produce up to 20 workers.
Understood.
The maximum number of workers increases when you construct larger headquarters. On the upper right, you will now find a portrait for human workers. The number indicates how many human workers are currently not doing a job. You can select a free worker with a click on the portrait button.
Here I am.
Workers can collect different resources depending on their race. Human workers can chop
problem.
trees, collect stone, or mine ore.
At your service.
To the left of the monument, you will find
Off
a
to
stone quarry, and to the right, an ore
Here I
deposit.
am.
The next forest is located to the west. To have workers collect a resource, select one or more workers and then click with the right mouse button directly on a tree, a stone, or an ore deposit. Only workers may figure in this selection. On the top edge of the screen, you will see the amount of resources you already have acquired. You can use resources to construct buildings or summon combat units to a monument. Select workers and send them with the right mouse button to chop down trees, collect stone and mine ore until you have at least 50 units of each of these 3 basic resources.
On my way. Master of the Rune? Break's over, time for work. Master of the Rune? Yes? At your service. All right, then. That way. Building completed. Here we go. Master of the Rune? Building completed. Building completed.
Very good. You now have sufficient resources to construct your first buildings. Select a worker and click on the building symbol in the action bar. A selection of buildings will appear. Click on the woodcutter hut and select a site in the game world near the forest to start construction by clicking the left mouse button. The selected worker will now begin to erect the building. You can select additional workers and send them to the construction site with a right click, should you want construction to progress faster. Now select some other workers and build a quarry near the stone resources and a mine near the iron. In each of these resource buildings, up to 5 workers can advance to the status of so-called craftsmen. Craftsmen have different clothing and special tools and are twice as efficient as simple
Master
workers.
of the Rune?
When you select a finished building,
Ready to go.
then you can see how many
All right,
craftsmen are already assigned to this building in the selection window.
That way.
When you click an empty
Here
symbol,
I am.
and there is another free worker available,
Master
he
of the
will be
Rune?
assigned to the building. When you click an occupied symbol, a worker will be released. Those workers that construct a building automatically take over the free jobs in the building insofar as they are available. When you send a worker to a building with the right mouse button, you can fill free jobs. This way, workers who, for example, chop down trees, will automatically look for free jobs in woodcutter houses and start doing them in a short time. Wait until all 3 buildings are finished. Should construction work fail to continue on a building, this means you have mistakenly removed all the workers from the construction site. Now your resources should increase much faster. Keep an eye on the individual stocks and, if necessary, assign your workers to other jobs. In order to recruit a larger army, you will need food. Humans are very flexible and are able to catch fish, hunt or breed animals, and grow grain. In the area surrounding your base, you will find a number of animals. Build a hunting lodge to gather food. Additionally, construct a small headquarters so that you will have up to 30 workers at your disposal.
Building completed. Yes?
You can send up to 5 workers to the hunting lodge to collect food faster. The amount of the food you have stored determines the maximum size of your army.
Let's get
The
cracking
flags
then.
on the buildings show you whom the buildings belong
Here I am,
to
as good
and
as
if
done.
workers are currently active in this building. If you look carefully, you will see that the lake behind the human monument is full of fish. There are also some berry bushes on the bank of the lake, but these serve
Here we go.
exclusively as food for elves.
Master of the Rune?
Now you should do something to defend your settlement.
Here I
Build
am.
2 towers in the area around the stone
Off to work.
slabs, as enemies might come from this direction.
Building completed. Master of the Rune? Yes? Break's over, time for work. Ready to go. Building completed. As good as done. Understood. Ready to go. Let's get cracking then.
Some goblins are attacking your settlement. You will soon hear an alarm signal and see a red symbol on the overview map indicating
freedom.
the site of your attack. Defend your town with your avatar and your guild.
Back! We must drive them back!
Enemies, beware. We're under attack. Quickly now.
Excellent. The attack has been thwarted. By the way, whenever you hear an alarm signal, you can use the space bar to immediately switch to the site of the action.
At your service.
If your towers are damaged, you can have them repaired. Select one or more
Off to work.
workers for the job and click with the right mouse button on the damaged structure. You can not only summon workers at a human
Break's over, time
monument,
for
but
work.
also human warriors and mages. Single warriors summoned at the human monument will not be as
Shall not
strong as
fail.
your avatar or your hero. With sufficient resources, however, you can produce whole armies.
Building completed.
Now it is time to build an army. Firstly,
All right,
you will
then.
need to construct a forge. Weapons and armor for battle units will be manufactured in this forge.
Building completed.
If you have several forges, you can produce
Here I
units
am.
faster.
Very well, off I go.
Battle units are also summoned to human monuments. If you would like to establish a rally point for new units, select the human monument and click with the right mouse button on the desired destination. The appearance of a little flag indicates that the summoned combat units will assemble at this point. Select the human monument and summon at least 3 recruits and 3 scouts. If you are unable to produce units, you will find text marked in red in the help window, which specifies the reason why, for example, a missing or unoccupied building, or insufficient resource.
Ready for action. All right.
The orcs have their own scouts always on the lookouts for enemies. If one of these scouts discovers your settlement or your warriors, he will return to his headquarters and sound the alarm. A
On my
scout is
command. For
about
the
to
order.
discover your settlement, which is shown by a
Rune
yellow
warriors,
symbol
stand by
appearing
me.
on the overview map. Destroy the opponents before they can get away. You may not be attacked now. The enemy headquarters will eventually notice the missing scout and start searching for him. You have, however, gained
Ready to
time
fight, sir. Moving
and can
out.
use it to quickly produce more scouts and recruits.
On my way.
It is important for you to destroy the buildings in the enemy camp as quickly as possible, because new opponents are continuously being recruited there. To produce a larger army, you will need larger quantities of food.
Eyes open,
Select
sword
your
ready,
human
sir.
monument.
Understood.
The
Right
lower
away, sir.
numbers in the selection window on the left indicate how many combat units you have, as well as the maximum number you can support. The current maximum is 10. Inside the headquarters buildings, you can use food to increase the maximum size of your army. Select your small headquarters building. In the action bar below, you will now see a symbol for food. When you hold the mouse pointed directly above it, the costs for this increase will show up in the help window. When you click once on the symbol, the maximum number of combat units will increase from 10 to 15 for 100 food units. The increase from 15 to 20 units already costs 200 food units. Increase the maximum number of combat units to at least 20 units by clicking the symbol twice. If the symbol is darkened, your hunters have not acquired sufficient food, and you will have to wait a while. With the small
Awaiting your
headquarters, you can
orders.
support a
Right away,
maximum
sir.
of 30 combat units.
Destiny awaits.
Medium-sized or large headquarters, which will
Quickly now.
become available later, afford additional possibilities to
adventure.
increase the maximum level.
Forwards.
If you later decide to play with two
Forwards.
allied races, then the maximum number of
Aonir.
combat units for the entire army applies, with the races also sharing the
Quickly
food.
now. Let's go.
Produce additional scouts and recruits
Let's
and
go.
destroy
For
the
our
orc
near.
camp in the east. Secure more resources and ensure you have sufficient food.
For the order.
Enemy contact!
Quickly now. To adventure. Into battle we go. Forwards.
You cannot search corpses or chests when enemies are near. There is a chest in the orc camp. Stand close to it with one of your
Forwards.
characters, and you will be able to open the chest by clicking with the right mouse button.
Now.
Take possession of both plans. You have just found the construction plan for a new building, and the unit plan for the human unit clerics. Open your inventory and go to the plans page.
On my way.
Here you have an overview of which building and unit plans you have for all 6 races. On the right-hand side in the window, you can select the race. Select Humans. Place the unit plan in a free space among the units in the lower line. You can now produce this unit at your human monument, provided you have the required buildings and sufficient resources. Place the building plan in an empty slot on the line of building icons. The first line may be full, so you might have to press the right arrow. Now your workers are able to construct the Temple of Light. Close your inventory.
Building completed. Your orders? As good
If you
as
want to
done.
summon human units with magic powers, you will need Aria, a magic liquid. Near the orc camp, you will find an Aria spring. Simple workers are not able to collect Aria. You will need a special building for that purpose. Put up an Aria shrine near the Aria spring and the Temple of Light in your main settlement. To select this building, you must click on the pointer on the right of the building selection.
Building completed.
Up to 5 workers can work in the Aria shrine and collect Aria. The Temple of Light serves to invoke units with magic powers, comparable to the
rune's
forge
orders?
for weapon production.
Sir! Yes, sir!
Several temples allow you to invoke magic units more quickly. Additionally, you can buy upgrades at the Temple of Light. Upgrades are possible on several buildings,
On my
and they
command.
generally improve your units as well as offering other benefits. If you select the temple and have sufficient resources, you can click the clerical blessing symbol below. All the clerics you summon after this will have a shield and sizable mana reserves at their disposal. Beside the Aria Spring, you will see Lenya plants and moon silver. Both resources cannot be used by humans, but play an important role for other races. Produce at least 3 clerics. Should you be unable to produce the unit, the button will be darkened. In this case, move the mouse over the button and follow the instructions in the help window. In case you already have the maximum number of units, you can select units and destroy them by using the key K.
Awaiting your orders. Securing the area. Ready to fight, sir. On my way.
Ready and able.
Securing the area. Sir. Yes, sir.
Upgrade complete. A new skill is available.
The next thing we want to do is gear up iron production a little. Put up a smelting works as close as possible to your mine building. The mine craftsman will now deliver the mined ore to the smelting works, where it will be processed further. This means you will now receive the double quantity of resources per delivery.
Awaits.
Simple workers can only deliver their resources to headquarters and monuments. All the craftsmen can deliver their iron ore to a smelting
Ready
works,
for action.
their wood
Right away,
to a
sir.
sawmill, their stones
On
to
my
a
way.
stonemason's hut,
Securing
or their
the
food
area.
to a storehouse, which then doubles the amount of each delivery.
Understood.
On my command.
Build a food storehouse.
I shall not
Follow
fail.
me.
When the food storehouse is finished, you can use food to regenerate the life points and mana reserves in your summoned units. This is especially
Follow me.
important if you summon several magic units. Your avatar and your heroes, by the way, regenerate themselves without food. Summoned at least
Never
15
give up.
combat cards.
Forward.
They're
For
attacking.
our near.
Awaiting your
If
ordering
you
out.
follow the path past
Right
the
away,
orc
sir.
camp farther to the east,
Never
you will
surrender.
arrive at an enemy lookout. As soon as it makes sight contact, it will alarm its headquarters.
On my command. At arms, men.
Advance with your avatar,
Quickly
the
now.
hero, and at least 15 combat
Now.
units to the east. As soon as the lookout has discovered you,
Let's go.
a yellow warning signal will appear on the overview map.
For our near.
Awaiting your out.
The orcs have been alerted to your presence and will send out an assault wave to confront you.
Engaging the
Destroy
enemy.
the orcs and their camp.
Ready and able. For the glory of Aonir.
Here. For the order.
Awaiting your orders. Ready to fight, sir. Ready for action. Eyes open, sword ready, sir.
At your command. Right away.
Ready for action. Right away, sir.
Congratulations. If you now look in your quest book,
The rune
you will
call.
see
Very
that you
well.
have now solved the 2 previously open steps. The leader of the orcs was carrying the rune.
Destiny awaits.
Loot the corpse
Now.
and take the rune if not already done so.
On my command.
Now go back to Joshua at the human monument and talk to him.
Follow me.
Understood.
I'm ready.
By Zarek's accursed eyes, the rune, you did it! Even if I can barely stand to look at a rune warrior, nobody else could have managed that feat. Master Rowan will be relieved.
You have received additional experience points for solving the quests, and your avatar has gained 1 level. With every new level, your avatar will have more life points and mana reserves. You will also receive skill and attribute points that can be used to further improve your avatar. Open the inventory and go into the category Character Information. On the right of the window, select your avatar if it's not already activated. On the left of the window, you will see the skills of your avatar, and in the middle, its attributes. Distribute the new attribute points, for example, for strength or wisdom. To do this, click in the window on the small arrows directly beside the numbers of the attributes. The individual attributes stand for the characteristics of a figure. If you pass over an attribute with the mouse pointer, the help window will explain the meaning of the individual numbers. Now distribute the new skill points. Click on New Skills and select Light Combat. Distribute the second point wherever you like by clicking on one of the small arrows beside the skill. Due to your improved skills in light combat, you have now received an additional combat skill. It's called Berserk. You will find this melee combat skill in your spell book. Transfer Berserk to your magic memory. Close your inventory. Combat abilities and some magic spells are not cast at a target, but rather only work on the caster himself. Test the Berserk ability by selecting your character and clicking the symbol below in the action bar, or above left on the portrait. When you trigger the Berserk ability, your avatar causes an enormous damage to the enemy for a short period of time. This can be very helpful in an emergency situation, although you cannot apply this attack again until after a few minutes. Now speak to Joshua again.
It's slowly getting to be time for me to head out. It was good to fight by your side again.
Come along. I'll accompany you to the portal.
Zerba, have mercy. Will this never end?
That will be interesting.
Rowan! Master Rowan, one moment later, and we would have been lost.
Do you have the rune?
Tahira salvaged it from the ruins. Here it is.
Tahira, I thank you. You have...
Served you well?
I can understand your fury. Believe me, it was worth it. This rune is the key to our future and past. But I don't want to bother you any longer. Live in peace, Tahira. We will not meet again.
Farewell, Tahira.
You can now leave this map through the magic portal, or follow the path to the south, where further opponents are waiting along with some useful hints which you don't necessarily need for the first maps. By clicking on the options in the top right, you can save the current game at any time. Go west of the portal to leave the map, or follow the path to the south to find more useful hints.
An ambush! We're under attack.
Here, to adventure. Let's go. To adventure. Let's go. For Aonir.
Whenever you see a statue, you will receive some tips and hints from different areas of the game.
Follow me.
Never surrender.
Freedom. Quickly now.
When you
Follow
travel
me.
through a portal or bindstone from one platform
Forward.
to another,
For
you
Aonir.
lose all the units you had previously summoned with rune magic and your settlements.
Never surrender.
That's why you should choose carefully the point in time you want to move
To
on.
adventure. For Aonir.
They're attacking.
Attack.
Never surrender. Engaging the enemy.
Quickly now.
Securing the area.
When you would like to rotate a building before placing it,
Yes.
press and
Attack.
hold the Control key. After that, use
Let's
the
go.
Delete and Stop keys
For the
to
order.
rotate the building
Never
to the
give
left
up.
or to the right.
Follow me. For freedom. For Aonir.
Fortify the defenses.
If you hold down the Alt
To
key
adventure.
and give your own units a go-to
Follow me.
command with the right mouse
At
button,
arms, men.
your units will scout the area between
Follow
their
me.
present
For
position and the
Aonir.
destination.
It's an ambush.
By indicating several
Never
points,
surrender.
they will patrol these points one after the other, forwards and backwards, with no
Fortify the
regard to
defenses.
their starting position. When scouting,
Engaging
your
the
units
enemy.
will attack any enemy in their sight range. By holding down the Shift key when you give your own
Follow me.
units a go-to command with the right mouse button, you can describe the exact route they should take point by point.
Attack.
At the final point, the units will stop. You can use this method to send your units around an enemy camp without having to change their directions over and over again.
Now.
Enemy contact.
Beside the inventory symbol
Fortify
on
the
the bottom
defenses.
right is the formation symbol.
Enemies, beware.
When you select several
Shall
units,
not fail.
you can form a formation by clicking on the formation
Follow me.
symbol. The units will then become a formation
Now.
just as they are arranged in the game world.
Let's go.
Generally, it is more comfortable
Forwards.
to use convenient function for standard formations. As soon as you have formed a formation, 3 additional symbols appear for the standard formations: circular, semicircular, and rank formation.
Forwards. Attack.
The resources in
Never
SpellForce
give up.
regenerate in the course of time. It can thus be wise to leave 1 or 2 craftsmen at an exhausted aria spring or a mined ore deposit.
Never surrender.
Forwards. For freedom. At arms, men. Quickly now.
Engaging the enemy.
The mightiest combat unit you
Enemies,
have at your
beware.
disposal is the Titan. Each race has its own Titan.
We're under attack.
To create a Titan, you must first construct the large headquarters of the appropriate race. You can only have 1 Titan for each
Enemies,
race.
beware.
Ready when we're done.
Never surrender.
On the side of light, you can build settlements not only with humans, but with elves and dwarves. There are also 3 dark races available: orcs,
We'll be done.
trolls, and dark elves. In SpellForce, you will often build a settlement with several races. If you decide on a light and dark race at the same time, you must ensure that the armies do not encounter one another. The resource supplies of the dark and light races are separate. However, the races of light share their resources with each another, as do the dark races.
Never give up.
When a normal go-to command is issued, the units will ignore enemies on their way to the target and only start to defend themselves as soon as they reach the destination. You can hold down the control key,
Fortify the
give the
defenses.
go-to command to your own units with the right mouse button. In this case, they will attack enemies along the way.
What does the room desire? On my way.
Never surrender. Fortify the defenses.
You can resort already used plans of buildings and units, magic spells in your spell book, and also learned magic spells in the magic memory at any time. To do this, open your inventory and, for instance, first click on one magic spell and then the second one. As the buildings and magic spells in the action bar are shown in the same order, as they are sorted in the buildings menu or magic memory, this can be useful.
The rune calls. On my way. Understood. Yes.
To provide a better overview, the view direction is automatically oriented in isometric perspective toward the north. You can use the Delete and N keys to rotate the view. You can also do this by holding down both mouse buttons and moving the mouse to the left or right. The view automatically returns to the starting position when you release the keys or the mouse buttons. This function can also be deactivated in the options. You can use the Home key to return the view to the north. Many characters have dialogues and orders that concern the main quest. Other characters are only important for so-called side quests. You can recognize the characters for the main quest by the large exclamation mark above their heads. You will need to talk to these characters in order to solve the main quest successfully.
Engaging the enemy.
Attack!
The so-called side quests are optional. You don't have to solve them, but they do offer a number of benefits and adventures.
Enemy contact. Securing the area.
The rune's orders.
Fortify the defenses. They're attacking.
Will be done. Will be done. On my way. Send them to the River of Souls.
Ready to fight,
Moving out.
Securing the area.
The rune calls for the glory of Aonir.
Never give up.
Send them to the River of Souls. Send them to the River of Souls.
Never give up.
Attack!
By holding down the Control key and selecting it,
Never surrender.
all the other units of this type in the surrounding area will also be selected.
Fortify the defenses.
This function can also be used with the portrait buttons of the avatar, the heroes, or the groups.
Yes.
Hold down the Shift
Send them
key
to the River
and
of
select
Souls.
one or more units to add units in order to add or remove them
Never
from
give
the
up.
current selection. This function can also
Enemy
be
contact.
used with the portrait buttons of the avatar, the heroes, or the groups.
Never give up. Enemy contact. They're attacking.
Ready and able. Very well.
Sir,
Yes,
moving
sir.
out.
The runes order. Very well.
Never give
Certain
up.
magic spells allow you to call upon so-called servants
Onwards, warriors.
who are loyal to the mages and support them during battles. A mage can call upon several servants simultaneously. However, these servants cost the mage a certain amount of mana as time passes, which leads to a slower regeneration of mana or even a constant loss of mana. When the mage has lost all of his mana reserves,
The rune
his
calls.
servant dies. When you have selected several units, you can click on individual units or unit types in the selection window at the bottom left, and thus double-select them. If you now give further orders, such as sending the unit elsewhere, then this command will only apply to the double-selected units. This method is highly convenient if,
At your
for
command,
instance,
right
you
away.
want to remove specific units
Understood.
from combat or heal wounded units
Very
very
well.
quickly with click and fight.
For the glory of Aonir.
Never give up.
Yes.
Never surrender.
Yes. For the light. Right away. On my way. Onwards, warriors.
On my command.
Never give up.
What does the rune desire? Right away. What does the rune desire?
my way.
For the light.
You will
Fortify the
find a
defenses.
monument symbol in the action bar. When you click on it with the left mouse button, you
Fortify
can
the
quickly
defenses.
select your monuments one after another and produce units without movement. When you click on monument symbol
the
with the
light.
right mouse button, then view will focus on the monuments one after another.
Onwards, warriors.
They're attacking.
Send them to the River of Souls.
Eyes open. On my way. Ready, sir. Understood.
At your command. On my way.
You can build some buildings at the start of the game, whereas others require the construction of small, middle, or large headquarters. You will find the appropriate instructions in the respective help windows. Some units require special buildings before they can be summoned. Aside from the necessary resources, they may also need a forge for metal weapons and armor, a weapon workshop for wooden weapons and leather outfits,
Ready to go.
or a magic building for units with magic skills.
That way.
Some units need further special buildings. You will find the appropriate hints in the respective help windows. The more often you defeat a certain type of enemy, the less experience points you earn. You earn a lot more points when you defeat new enemies. Some rare weapons have magic effects. These effects cannot be specifically cast. They unleash their power in combat at random time intervals. A number of different effects are possible. For example, there are weapons with an additional fire effect, or others which take life points away from the enemy and add them to the owner. When you press the Tab key, the strongest enemy in the visible view will be selected. By pressing the Tab key again, you can switch through all the visible enemies. This way you can select enemy targets very quickly, for example, for the click and fight system. You can retroactively remove or change units that have been queued for summoning at a monument. To do this, select the monument and click on the unit currently under production in the selection window, or on units in the waiting line to remove them.
At your service. Yes.